Have you ever noticed the exact look on an older woman's face when a successful, 40-year-old man walks into a restaurant holding the hand of a beautiful, peaceful 24-year-old girl? It is not a look of confusion. It is not a look of disgust. If you look very closely at her eyes, it is a look of absolute, burning panic. She will immediately lean over to her friends at the table and start whispering. She will call the man a creep. She will say he is immature. She will say he is insecure and afraid of a real woman. But she is completely lying. She is projecting her own deepest, darkest fear right onto him. Today, we are going to rip the mask off one of the biggest double standards in the entire modern dating world. We are going to expose the exact psychological reason why women over 36 get furiously angry when successful men choose to date younger women. If you do not understand the cold, hard math behind this anger, you will let society shame you into settling for a miserable life. Now, let us get straight into the brutal truth. To understand the anger, you have to understand the timeline of the modern dating market. Men and women do not experience time the same way. When a woman is 22 years old, she is holding the winning lottery ticket. She is at the absolute peak of her physical beauty. Because of this, she holds all the power. Men of all ages are offering her free dinners, free vacations, and endless attention. She has 100 unread messages on her phone right now. During this time, she does not look at the good, hard-working guys her own age. She looks right past them. She wants the exciting guy. She wants the bad boy. She wants the man who is already established. She enjoys her power, and she spends her youth having fun, riding the carousel, and rejecting average men without a second thought. But time is a very cruel teacher. While she is spending her 20s having fun, the average man in his 20s is completely invisible. You know exactly what I am talking about. When you were 22, you were broke. You were struggling. Women did not look at you twice. You had to work terrible jobs. You had to stay up late studying or building your business. You were building your value from absolute scratch, brick by heavy brick. Then, a massive shift happens. The timeline flips. The man turns 35 or 40. He finally has money in the bank. He has a solid career. He has a nice car. He has deep confidence because he actually built himself into a king. He is now at the absolute top of his value. At that exact same time, the woman turns 36. The endless attention she had in her 20s starts to slow down. The phone stops ringing as much. The high-value men she used to easily get are no longer chasing her. And this is where the massive anger is born. When that 36-year-old woman looks across the street and sees that 40-year-old man walking with a 24-year-old girl, she is not mad at him. She is mad at the mirror. She is furiously angry that the man she rejected 10 years ago now has the power to reject her. She realizes that the dating game has completely changed rules, and she is no longer holding the winning cards. Let me tell you a real story about a man who listened to the shaming. This is a story about a loser who let society bully him into a miserable life. We will call him Thomas. Thomas was a very successful guy. He was 38 years old. He owned his own house and ran a great business. Thomas started dating a beautiful, sweet 23-year-old girl who worked at a coffee shop. She made him incredibly happy. She brought peace to his life. She did not argue with him. She respected his leadership. But Thomas made a huge mistake. He brought her to a dinner party with his older friends. A woman at the party, a 39-year-old single woman named Karen, completely attacked him. Karen pulled Thomas aside into the kitchen. She looked at him with pure disgust and said, "What are you doing? She is basically a child. You have nothing in common with her. You just want a toy to control. You need to grow up and find a woman your own age who is an equal. Thomas felt a massive wave of guilt. He had that nice guy programming deeply wired into his brain. He wanted to be seen as a good, mature man by society. He did not want his friends to think he was a creep. So, Thomas did the unthinkable. He broke up with the sweet younger girl. A few months later, he started dating a woman his own age. She was 38. She had an expensive degree and a big corporate job. Thomas thought he was finally doing the right thing. He thought he found an equal. But the relationship was a total nightmare. This older woman did not bring peace. She brought a massive ego. She constantly argued with Thomas about everything. She competed with him. She made him feel like he was constantly at a job interview. She carried a massive heavy bag of trauma from all her toxic past relationships, and she unpacked that heavy bag right into Thomas's living room. She did not respect him, because she felt she was just as successful as him. When Thomas tried to leave the relationship, she called him controlling. Thomas ended up completely miserable. He aged 10 years in just 2 years. He lost his peace, his joy, and his freedom. He sacrificed his own happiness just to avoid the shaming tactics of bitter people. He is the ultimate loser because he let an angry, older woman dictate his choices. You have to understand why older women use the word immature to shame you. When she says you are dating a younger woman because you are immature, you have to decode the actual language. What she is really saying is, you are dating a younger woman because you refuse to deal with my heavy baggage and my bad attitude. A high-value man does not want a second boss when he comes home from work. You spend your entire day fighting battles. You fight battles at your job. You fight battles to pay your bills. You fight battles in traffic. When you finally turn the key and walk into your own house, you do not want to fight another war. You want peace. Younger women naturally bring more peace. They are not carrying 10 years of bitter resentment against men. They are usually more agreeable, more feminine, and more willing to let a strong man lead the relationship. Older, single women hate this truth. They want you to believe that a relationship is supposed to be a constant struggle. They want you to believe that if a woman does not challenge you and argue with you, she is not a real woman. That is a complete lie designed to trick you into accepting bad behavior. Let us look at another side of this dark coin. Let us look at the exact mindset of the woman who does the shaming. This is the bitter reality. Imagine a woman who spent her entire youth chasing the top 1% of men. She partied on boats. She went to expensive clubs. She ignored the quiet guy studying in the corner. She ignored the guy working 2 jobs to build his credit score. She laughed at guys who drove old cars. Now she is 37. The music at the club has stopped. The boats have sailed away. She is sitting in her expensive, empty apartment with a glass of wine, wondering where all the good men went. She logs onto social media and sees that exact same quiet guy she ignored 15 years ago. But now, he is a millionaire. Now, he is strong and confident. And in the picture, he has his arm around a beautiful 25-year-old girl who looks at him with pure admiration. The anger she feels in that moment is completely toxic. It burns her from the inside out. She realizes she made a terrible investment. She spent her best years on men who did not care about her, and now she expects the successful men to step up and pay the bill for her mistakes. But the successful men are walking right past her. She cannot accept that she made a mistake. Her ego will not allow it. So, she has to invent a lie to protect her feelings. She has to convince herself that the successful man is actually a bad person for choosing the younger girl. She writes angry comments on the internet. She tells her friends that men are disgusting. She tries to build a massive wall of shame around any man who exercises his options. Do not ever let this bitter shaming work on you. You have earned the right to choose exactly what you want. When you were 20 years old and completely broke, society did not feel sorry for you. Nobody pulled you aside and said, "Hey, it is okay that you have no money. Here is a beautiful girl to make you feel better." No. Society told you to man up. Society told you to get to work. Society told you that you were completely worthless until you built yourself into something useful. You took the pain. You took the lonely nights. You carried the heavy weight. You built the house. You bought the car. You earned the success. And now that you finally have the gold coins, society wants to tell you exactly how you are allowed to spend them. They want you to spend your hard-earned success on a woman who would not even look your direction 10 years ago. It is the biggest scam in the universe. Let us look at a man who completely saw through the scam. Let us look at a true winner who protected his peace and laughed right in the face of the shaming tactics. We will call him Robert. Robert was 42 years old. He spent his entire 20s and 30s completely focused on his goals. He built a massive real estate company from the ground up. He went through total hell to get to the top. When he finally reached the mountaintop, he wanted a peaceful life. He met a girl named Emily. Emily was 26. She was a kindergarten teacher. She was soft-spoken, incredibly sweet, and she deeply admired Robert. She did not care about competing with him. She just wanted to support him and build a family. Robert took Emily to a big family Thanksgiving dinner. Robert's older cousin, Lisa, was 39 and completely miserable. She had been divorced twice. As soon as Lisa saw Robert walk in with young Emily, her face turned sour. During dinner, Lisa decided to attack. She looked across the table, in front of the entire family, and said, "So Robert, what do you and Emily even talk about? TikTok? It must be so exhausting having to teach a kid how the real world works. Why don't you find a woman your own age who can actually hold a real conversation?" The entire dining room went completely quiet. Everyone stared at Robert. Robert did not get angry. He did not raise his voice. He did not try to defend Emily's intelligence. He understood exactly what Lisa was doing. She was a bitter, aging woman trying to drag him down into her own misery. Robert calmly put his fork down. He looked Lisa directly in the eyes with a cold, flat stare. He said, "We talk about our future. We talk about the family we are going to build. And most importantly, we talk to each other with absolute respect. She brings me total peace." When you finally learn how to bring a man peace instead of constant drama, maybe you will not be sitting at this table alone every single year. The silence in that room was heavier than concrete. Lisa's face turned bright red. She stood up and stormed out of the dining room. She could not handle the cold, brutal mirror of truth being held up to her face. Robert went back to eating his food. He won the ultimate game because he completely refused to accept the shame. He knew his own value. He knew that his peace was worth 1,000,000 times more than the opinion of a bitter relative. This is exactly how you must handle the shaming tactics. You must become a solid brick wall. When an older woman, or even your own friends, tried to shame you for dating a younger, peaceful woman, you do not argue. You do not explain yourself. Explaining yourself is a massive sign of weakness. It shows them that you care about their approval. A king does not ask the peasants for permission to wear his crown. You simply look at them, smile slightly, and say, "She treats me like a king, and she brings me peace. That is all that matters to me." Then you turn around and walk away. You must understand the deep psychological jealousy at play here. It is not just about looks. It is about submission. An older, Hardened woman has been through the meat grinder of modern dating. She has built up thick, heavy walls to protect herself. She has become extremely masculine to survive in the corporate world. When she enters a relationship, she cannot turn that masculine energy off. She wants to be the boss. She wants to be the man of the house. When you try to lead her, she fights you every step of the way. A younger woman is still deeply in touch with her natural feminine energy. She wants to be led. She feels incredibly safe when a strong, established man takes the wheel. She does not want to fight you for the steering wheel. She just wants to be the beautiful passenger on your journey. The older woman sees this and she gets furiously angry. She is jealous of the younger woman's ability to submit. She is jealous that the younger woman gets to experience the protective, providing nature of a strong man, while she has to go home to an empty apartment and pay her own bills. She attacks the younger woman because she wishes she could still be that soft, peaceful girl. But the world hardened her, and she wants you to pay the penalty for her hard edges. Do not pay the penalty. Your success is your absolute leverage. When you build yourself into a man of high value, you earn the right to access the entire dating market. You are not restricted to women your own age. You are restricted only by what you tolerate. If you want a peaceful, soft, younger woman who respects your leadership, you go get her. Do not let society trick you into dating a woman who resents your success and wants to compete with your manhood. You are the prize. You are the one who built the empire. You get to choose who sits on the throne next to you. I want you to walk away from this video with a completely new mindset. The next time you see an older woman making a slick, angry comment about a man dating younger, I want you to smile. I want you to look at her and see the exact truth. You are not looking at a moral judge. You are looking at a frustrated player who just realized the game passed her by. Never apologize for wanting peace. Never apologize for wanting a woman who looks up to you. Never apologize for claiming the exact reward you earned through years of hard work, sweat, and silent struggle. Brothers, if you're watching right now, I need a small favor. My ex said I wouldn't even reach 100K subscribers. I need you to help me prove her wrong. Please hit subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment right now. Let's show her what men can do when we stand together and refuse to be shamed. I want to hear from the true winners in this brotherhood. I want you to go down to the comment section right now and answer this very smart question. I want you to be totally honest. What is the craziest, most ridiculous excuse or insult an older woman ever threw at you to try and shame you for your dating choices? Did she call you insecure? Did she tell you that you were going through a midlife crisis? Did she tell you that you could not handle a real woman? Write her exact words down in the comments below. Let us expose these toxic shaming tactics so every young man watching can learn how to laugh at the trap instead of falling into it. Keep your head up, guard your peace with your life, and never let anyone shame you for wearing the crown you built with your own 2 hands. Stay strong.